Hello. Happy, yeah, see? Jesse saw it. Happy, what day is it? Thursday. Thursday. When you work for yourself and your husband is retired, you lose track of days. Because when you work for yourself, you kind of work whenever you can. Yeah. Yes. So, funny. A lot of times when I'm crafting, I wear a weighted vest just for bone strength, and you get used to it. It's not a problem. The only time I remember I really have it on is when I go up steps because it's a lot harder. And I thought I would leave it on so that hopefully my coach would see it in action, and he's here, so that's good. So it's a little funny, but I probably am going to just leave it on because I hadn't done it yet today, so it's time. It's time. So just ignore my weighted vest. Welcome. Happy Thursday. I hope you all just watched Gina. Gina is live, and man, she shared a lot today. So if you missed that live for some reason, go back and watch it later on. Welcome. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Okay, today I am playing with Vellum. Nothing super like out of the ordinary, but I think sometimes it's good to remember what we can do with some of our products. So what I'm doing, the things that I'm planning to do today, you could definitely do with a lot of different products if you've got Vellum on hand. Deborah asked about how much the vests weigh. Well, they have all different sizes. This is 20 pounds. Yeah, I tried, Laura, I used to do ankle weights, and I tripped once, and that was it. Maybe I should try it again. They're actually underneath my desk here, so I could try it again. I like this much better, and I find it's good for my back and my shoulder. Anyway, I digress. So we'll be using Vellum, and I'm hoping a lot of you have Vellum on hand. There are lots of different kinds. There are lots of different types of Vellum out there. There's lighter weight, there's heavier weight. I'm mostly using, I'm using a heavier weight Vellum today. I will link below to the one I use, but really you can use whatever Vellum you have on hand. Laura asked how old my husband is. He is 55. He retired a couple, 2-3 years ago now. Yeah. All right, so let's dive in. I will be using product from Waffle Flower today. They texted me a few months ago, and they said that February this release is butterflies, and if you know me, I love butterflies, and I'm ready for spring, so I'm hoping by using butterflies, now spring will come a-running. That's what I'm hoping. So I will be using Waffle Flower today. There are some ways to save right now. Their new release came out, I think it was yesterday. I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I had one of those days. That's Mike. Mike's over there like, yeah. In fact, I fell asleep last night at 8. So yeah, we had a rough day yesterday. So we moved it to today. Anyway, I'm using the new Waffle Flower, but there are 2 great ways to save at Waffle Flower right now. Mike, can you put up the free gift right now? So I think every other release, Waffle Flower does a free gift. I'll show you what the free gift is in a moment, like I have it here. It's called the Overlapping Hello Friend Die-n-stencil. So if you spend $50 or more on the February release, which is stuff I'm using today, and you add this particular product into your cart and use that code, it's free. You'll see when you add it to your cart, you'll go to checkout. When you come to the point where you can add a code, you add the code and it will make that $0. But you need to have it in your cart to work. And I have a link below so you can easily find where to add it. The other special right now, this is exclusive to me. I'll be using these brushes. I used to use them a lot, and Lila took them over, so she likes them because they're rainbow. So I'm going to use these today because I know a lot of people prefer a handled brush, so I'm going to use these today. 40% off this pack of blending brushes. You got to use the code JMInc, and that is through the 9th, and you can use this code and the other code for the free gift, so you can use both. Wouldn't have been nice to know that. Oh, yeah, okay, I don't, oh, the free gift, the free gift option is, you can come back. The free gift option is on their website. So that was available yesterday. That's not exclusive to me. That's just something they offer. The brush code is exclusive to me. So I just thought I would mention those things. As always, that information is right at the top of my YouTube description, and below that are the supplies that I use. But a better way to find everything is right at the top of my YouTube description. There is a link with the word live in it. If you open that up to a new page, at the top will be the information on how to save on these brushes and also how to get the free gift. And then you can scroll down and you'll see thumbnails of everything I use, so it makes it easier to find. All right, so I'm hoping that that page is helpful to you. All right, yeah, I'm glad you're here. So let me show you the free gift first and just show you the brushes a little bit more, and then I'm gonna dive into making some goodness today. Oh, is that Nina here? I think Nina is here from Waffle Flower, so if you have questions, you can ask her. And then my Link Ninja, Ride or Die, Brienne is here in the comments. So if you have questions, you can tag Brienne too. She finds things before, yeah, Mike likes to try to race her sometimes. And every once in a while, I'll see him off to the side go, oh, because that meant Brienne shared it before him. All right. Okay.
And she even gets the stream later than I
do. I know. Mike has an advantage because the stream is delayed by the time Brienne sees it.
It's ringing in my ears live.
But, oh, the weighted vest that I wear is, this one's 20 pounds. If you missed the beginning, I know it's weird, but I wear a weighted vest sometimes when I'm crafting. It's good for your bones. My coach said he was going to pop in today, so I wanted him to see that I actually wear it. So I'm leaving it on because I hadn't gotten a chance to wear it yet today. If you're interested in the weighted vest I use, because I knew somebody would ask, you got to go to the bottom of my supply list below. I have it linked there, the one that I use. Is the free shipping for $100 before or after the discount? You know, Nina texted me this earlier. She said, our shipping is calculated before discounts, so they get free shipping too. That's what she said. And Nina is here, so she can answer. All right. All right. Okay, so let me show you, let me find the free gift just so you can see it. I should have had it sitting out, but I didn't. Oh, Mike, I got 2 of these, so we can give one away. So that's another. So we have two good giveaways today. That's Lila's dance. Yeah, her dance team. So, okay, you know how, before I show you this, so you know how when you're a parent and kids do activities, they get their pictures taken and then they give you all this way they can get money from you to buy different things like posters, little, 700, 2 by 3 inch photos, all these things. Well, now they have, like, you can buy acrylic cutouts like those, and you can buy blankets, and it's become a joke in our family. Here's Colin from a few years ago. It's become a joke. I buy these blankets with their faces on it, and then I give them to people as gifts, and it drives them crazy. Audrey, who's our second oldest, when she and her fiance go to concerts, they'll lay the Colin blanket out on the ground and send a picture saying, Colin's at the, whatever concert. And so it's become this joke with these blankets and with these little acrylic people. So because the best part about that is when they are at baseball, for example, and they start handing out the pictures, my son gets this big package of blankets and cutouts, and he's embarrassed, and that right there is worth it to me. Anyways, so that's the story. So yes, that is Lila's and Colin's pictures back there. So the free gift right now from Waffle Flower is this Hello Friend die, and then a stencil. The cool thing about, you get both of them together. The cool thing about this stencil is, let me get some cardstock behind it. Can you see my pajama pants? Probably not. Okay. Do you see how you do 2 of the letters and then you line it up with the next one and it gives you the other 2 letters and then the 3rd letter. And it has the stenciling kind of overlaps, and then you can use the die to cut it out. And it has the word hello friend. Can you put up that free gift image so you can see an example? I didn't use this today. So see how the stencil gives you that look. And I just think that's really fun. So that's the free gift. Information on how to get it is in the description below. And then if you like that look, I know that is there one called Hugs, Mike? Yeah. So there is also a Hugs one that's for sale. See the word Hugs and how it's overlapped, and then you can put another word with it. This is from the Waffle Flower website. Nina said that I could share some of these Waffle Flower images. This one is from Jill Hawkins, who I always love her cards. I've got a few of hers to share today. And that is another example of this kind of overlapping letters. Nada, wow, Nada. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, can you go back to, yeah, so I can show them what I got here. So this is the Hugs. So you can see it's bigger, and then there's this stencil that lines up to it. Oh, Tina. Tina also has the same coach as me. And she says she's on her walking pad right now. Anyway, go girl. So this is the Hugs one. So you can see it does the same thing. It makes it really easy to do. And then there's the die to cut it out. I just wanted to show you that they have a few of those available. They had some over the holidays too. All right, and then the brushes, the way I store these brushes is it comes in this package. They actually come in the package this way, and I store them like this so that the ink stays down and I can put this in my drawer. So this is the set that you can get 40% off right now using the exclusive code that Nina gave us from Waffle Flower. So I will be using these today. I often forget to use the handled brushes, and then when I start using them, I'm like, why don't I use these more again? They're what Lila prefers. That's what she uses for most everything. All right. Yeah, Nina's very generous. She's wonderful. All right, let's get started with this card here. Now, I know a lot of crafters have done videos using this die plate and stencil set. I think Kathy Zilski did a video, so you can check that out if you want more ideas. I'm making mine a see-through card, and I've got some vellum on there, and I'm actually making 2 cards at once, this one and another one, so I can show you how to stretch these supplies. Now, if you don't have these Waffle Flower supplies, any kind of large die like this would work great for this kind of see-through shaped card. A lot of companies have, different dies that have that large connected but has holes in it designs, You could also glue together individual die cuts and get somewhat the same look, but you're gonna see how easy this is to use, okay? And then we'll do the vellum last but not least. All right, so colors. Give me do you want me to do those same colors or should I change it up? Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments while I show you the stuff that I'm going to use. Welcome. Are there different, Trina asked, so while I answer this, should I do the same color palette or should I change it up? Trina asked, are there different colors of vellum? Yes, you can get colored vellums. There are some available. I don't have any. I have regular vellum and I have shimmer vellum, and Simon Says Stamp has their own version of both, and those are the ones I like because they're very heavyweight. I will show you later how to make your own colored vellum. It's easy enough. Yes, vellum can be tricky, so we'll be doing our best today. Can you scroll it down so I can see, Mike? Change it up. Okay, I'll change it up. I see blues, purples, and pinks. I'll do that. I saw purples twice. Okay, so let me show you what I've got here. First of all, I think this is called the Butterfly Blossom Plate. Let me see, Butterfly Blossom Plate. Yep, Butterfly Blossom Texture Plate. Okay, so this is, almost 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. See how it fits nicely on an A2 card. So that is the Butterfly Blossoms texture die. Then there are also the Butterfly Blossom dies, which includes all of this here. And these dies, like these butterflies, oh, my magnet's too strong. Hang, please. These dies are the size of the butterfly. I can wear a weighted vest, but I can't remove a die from a magnet. That's great. These butterflies these die cuts butterflies the same as on this, so you can pop them up. So I'll be using this, and the same with the butterflies, or the flowers. This also gives you the bodies. So this set here is the Butterfly Blossom die set. And then I'm not using this here, but there is a flower focal die, which I'll show you later. And remind me to, just remind me when I'm done with this set of cards, remind me postage. Don't let me forget that, okay? So let's start with the Butterfly Blossom texture die from Waffle Flower, all right? There are also layering stencils that will color this in, and I'm gonna use them today. But keep in mind, you could just cut this from solid color cardstock and then use different colors for those other dies to layer on. You don't have to do the stenciling, but you know me. I love to do some stenciling. All right, so I've got a grip mat here. This is the Waffle Flower grip mat. I'm gonna do two things here. Would you leave the colors of the other one below? I will tell you. How about I tell you? Before I start, let me tell you what colors I used here. I used baby pink and magenta from Altenew. These are new pink colors. I used them in my video that went up yesterday, and I really like those colors. Then the Gina K light carnation and dark carnation for these like peachy flowers. And then for the butterflies, I used Hero Arts Butter Bar and Hero Arts Papaya. So I'm using all the different companies together. Okay. Oh, and then the green leaves, I used lime and reindeer moss from Altenew. Isn't that crazy that I can remember those things? But I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast. All right, can you scroll it? All right, so those are the colors there. I'm gonna switch the colors here, and I'm actually doing two things at once. I plan to use the layering stencils to color in this die cut, because see all the texture it adds? And then I'm also going to use the layering stencils without the die on their own on a piece of cardstock. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's start with this. I'm gonna do in the same colors, the two pieces I'm doing now just to save time. So you want me to use purples. How about, let's do orchids first, orchid colors. I'll do true purple next. All right, so this is the die cut here. Let's see. I have the Butterfly Blossom stencil number. I'm going to start with, what do I want to be purple? I think I want some flowers to be purple. Now all of the stencils have a number on it, and it tells you what it is you're coloring in, and it has an etched line to line up. Man, it's really easy. And you can, the nice thing about these aren't actually layering stencils because they don't really layer a whole lot. It's more like they're coloring stencils, I should probably say. I think that's what they even call them. Isn't that brilliant? All right, let's start with the light orchid first. This is Gina K. Man, these colors are so pretty. Ooh, I should use some of her blues next too. All right, so got my brush. When I use blending brushes, I tend to hold up here, kind of like a knife, as opposed to back here, because I feel like you have more control. I need to clean the feet again, or for the first time, Brianne, I haven't cleaned them. All right, so I'm applying first light orchid, and this will just do some of my flowers. I'll put this one down here so you can kind of see it. I'm changing up the colors. On the other card, I used baby pink and magenta from Altenew for these particular flowers. Yes, Lisa Horton inks would be beautiful on these. You definitely could use those metallic inks. That would be fantastic. You could use really any inks you want here. You could do a kind of a ink it up and then give it a little spritz with water to get a watercolory look. I'm just keeping it simple here. So that was light orchid. And one of the things that I mentioned in my video yesterday is I'm trying to stretch myself to do higher contrast between when I blend on like a flower. So I did light on the outside and I skipped, she has a medium shade. I'm skipping that and going right to dark orchid. So I'm using the double-ended blending brushes from Waffle Flower. These were hugely popular at the end of the year. These are great because you have the two ends, which is, you know, cost savings and space savings. So I'm putting the darker right at the center, and you'll see that I'm putting, like, I start like right at the center of the flower and I kind of spin going out to get that color to blend. All right. So I like to use these often. Usually I messed up on this one. Usually I do one end dark and one end light, but you definitely could do, you know, blue on one end, purple on one end, but it comes in a set. It's like a rainbow set. I have it linked in the YouTube description below. All right, so I got that one done. So that is light orchid and darker orchid from Gina K. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, Pat says she loves her double-ended waffle flower brushes. Listen, there are a lot of great brushes out there. There are a lot of them. And, you know, each one has some perks. The nice one, those double-ended blending brushes really have quite a few perks to them because they're double-ended. So the price is good because you're actually getting twice the number of brush ends. Does that make sense? For brushes, and there's a rainbow of colors, and people like those colored handles, and the bristles are short, and I find I blend better with shorter bristles. Okay, next up, the other flowers. Line up the other flowers here, and you can see the grip mat is holding that in place. I'm not going to do those just yet. I think I'm going to do purpley blue color. How's that? Let's move to Altenew. This is how I like to craft. I like to mix inks together. I go for the colors I want as opposed to sticking to one brand. All right, now last time I used my purple brush, I used the orchid, right? I'm gonna switch to more of a purple color, but I'm using the same brush. I just rub it off onto a dry cloth and switch. No problem, I never clean. Roberta said, yeah. See, so Jessie is my coach. I know a lot of you are like me, who, as we get older, we're like, uh-oh, I better take better care of myself. And he's helping me with that. But he, you know, strength training is part of it. But see, as crafters, we get strength training. Well, kind of. This is strength training. Isn't there resistance in doing this? And in the die cut machine. Right? Y'all stand up. You got to back me up on that. That counts. All right. See, yeah, this is a great purple. This is like a purple with a blue tint to it. If you want purple with like a bit of a pink tint to it, they just came out with some new ones. I used them in my video yesterday. So these brushes here, this set of brushes is 40% off with the code below. Right there. And you can see they blend wonderfully. All right, now this is going to be pretty intense there in the center. Oops. Sometimes you got to hold these little areas down when you're doing this. Pretty intense in the center because Altenew's inks are light, medium, dark, and extra dark. And I started with the lightest and I skipped the medium and the dark, and I'm going to the darkest, the very darkest purple in the collection because I want that high contrast. I'm trying to not be scared of doing that. There is still room for some dumbbells. Well, fine, but come on. Let us get, you know, it is cardio. It's cardio. Okay, I'm taking it. It's kind of like, it's like crafter math. Remember where I've talked about the crafter math? If you buy supplies, I probably got ink on my face. Do I have ink on? If you buy supplies and you make a set of note cards for someone as a gift, that means those supplies were pretty much free, right? Because you didn't have to buy a gift, you bought supplies. I wasn't really careful inking there. That's okay. It's all good. All right, next up, blue. This is Gina K's new blue color. I love it. It's called Blue Sky. Sometimes I call it Sky Blue by accident. I'm gonna do my butterflies in this. Look at that color. Oh, so pretty. And the nice thing is, see how, oh, you know, I've been forgetting to do the other panel. Shoot. See how the texture that the die made, the ink and the brush kind of make that stand out more. Oxide inks. Somebody asked, are these brushes good for oxide inks? Absolutely. You can use brushes or like Tim's ink blending tools for, oh, that's fun. You can use either, for oxide inks, you can either use brushes or blending foam, like Tim's blending tools. Just if you use like these brushes for oxide, it's great. Just use them only for oxide. Don't use them for dye too. I think it's good to keep those separate. All right, hang on. I'm gonna do that other one in a moment. I'm just gonna finish what I'm doing and then I'll tell you what I was supposed to be doing, but I didn't. Isn't that beautiful blue? Now I'm hopping up quite a bit. This is her blue raspberry color, and I'm doing this kind of at the center. Usually if I want to add a darker color, I do it at the center, like on the butterfly or on the flowers, or at the base. Like if I have a petal, I'll do it at the base, or if I have a leaf, I'll do it at the base, the darker color there. I am not an expert on shading and all that. That just works for me. Yeah, Michelle says she likes using Tim's foam, the inking tools with her oxides. Honestly, I do both. I do both. All right, oh, that's fun. Yay. All right, now let's do let's do the leaves. Let me line these up. Mike, are there questions?
Did you start with the 20 pound or work your way up to it?
Oh, the vest? I just started with it. I think you're supposed to work your way up. Somebody asked about my vest that I have on because I'm weird. I think you're supposed to start at like 12. But I'm so buff that I just skipped. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I think I got a 15 and then a 20 and a 25, but you don't need to. 15 is probably a good place.
Hold on, here.
Does the whole die have to be connected to make the shaped card? I think that's what you're asking. If you don't have a die that is big like this, you can do individual die cuts and overlap them and glue them together. I've done some videos showing that. You definitely could try that if you wanted to. All right, let's do the leaves here. Use this, I've got that one. How do I store the double-ended brushes? Does it damage them? I have mine standing upright. I have not found that it damages the bristles because they're really lightweight. It's not like it's a heavy weight sitting on them. So I haven't had any problems with that. I know some people lay them down. I heard some people say they have them in one of the Spellbinders craft stacks and then put the lid on it, which is this. You can lay them down in here and put the lid on it. But I just have mine standing and I haven't had any problems. Okay, let's see. Now, so that was Limeade, which is the lightest in this color family. Then I'm coming in with the much darker reindeer moss. You can see this is much darker. Putting that kind of at the base of the leaves. And remember, a lot of these inks pull back and kind of dry softer. So if it looks a little too intense at first, don't worry. It'll dry back and be beautiful. Okay, so there we've got that. Yeah, I haven't had any problems with storing them that way. This is the detail on the butterfly, which will help cover up my ink boo-boos from earlier. Somebody asked, what is the problem if you mix an oxide brush with dye ink brush? The reason I don't recommend it is oxide inks have a different property. They have like a pigment property to it, and that can transfer onto a dye ink pad. So to be careful, I keep them separately. I keep them separate. Separate. Let me get, Okay. Now back to, on this part, I'm gonna do the blue raspberry over the whole thing, but not too heavy. I don't know. Just kind of mix it there. And notice that I am going in both directions. When you use stencils, it's good to wax on and wax off. That way it gets into those little nooks and crannies. Like here, there's little dots on the butterfly wings. And if you just go in one direction, you might miss some of those. So it's good to go back and forth. What's the best grip mat for this small Misty? I believe that Waffle Flower has a grip mat size just right to go in the Misty, or the small Misty. I only use the regular Misty, the original, and this is the Waffle Flower grip mat that works in there. I just took it out of my Misty to do this, but I believe they have a size for the mini Misty. Laura Ann says it's 4 3/4 by 6. You scroll it. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. So that's with the detailed texture background brush. Okay. Now, what I should have been doing that whole time is I should have gone like from this one and ink up all the pink flowers, and then go directly here and ink up pink flowers. Then go here and ink up purple flowers, then go here and ink up purple flowers. And it would have saved me a lot of time. I just forgot to do this. That's what I did on my 2 cards. It's kind of like you're making 2 at once. So pretend I remembered. And I'm going to do the same inking on here. I think I might change up the colors though. People seem to like the idea of changing the colors. Give me some colors you want next while I clean up my stencils here. What colors? Because so far I've done blues, pinks, and purples. Do red. Maybe we do red. Or I can do what I did here so you can see what exactly I used. Do you put the acetate sheet behind your waffle mat? Okay, so somebody asked, there's an acetate sheet that comes with the Waffle Flower mat. You can keep it on there or take it off. I actually have a couple of these Waffle Flower mats because, yeah, I have issues. This one, I kept the acetate on the back, but see how I cut the acetate corners here? So that there's a little bit of grip when I put it just around the edges. And this is easier to pick up and move around because the whole back doesn't stick. Then I have somewhere in my, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I think I took it out. Shoot. No, here it is. Here I have a Misty with it stuck in there. I just leave it there all the time. Okay, so you don't have, it's up to you if you keep the acetate on the back or not.
You're getting a good mix. Let's ask Jesse what colors he would.
Oh, Jesse's here. Let's make the non-crafter pick the colors. Yellow and coral. I think that might be it. No, he'll probably say something like
there's a lot of yellows
black.
And reds.
Okay, oh, turquoise and orange sounds good. We are not smacking acetate today. Gina's not here, so I'm behaving. I'm behaving. Teal and coral. Teal and coral. What was the last one that I said would be pretty? Orange and... Mine lost its stickiness. If yours loses your stickiness, give it a good cleaning. Kathy Zilski did a reel on Instagram showing how she cleans it. I just take Ultra Clean and I spray it on there. It's a stamp cleaner, and this is stamp material. And then I just scrub it off with a Hero It's Scrubber Block, which is a soft scrubber. I use purple enough. Jesse, you can have my purple flower and butterfly card. All right, so that's how I go about cleaning it. I know Brutus Monroe also has a grip mat, like a cleaner that's good for this, but really, but honestly, I rarely clean mine. I think sometimes they are happier when they're a little loved. All right, so I think I saw orange.
You going for a hike?
If my husband just asked if I'm going for a hike. What are you eating? Whatever it is. No, thank you. All right, let's see. What did people say? So some people, turquoise and...
A lot of reds, a lot of yellows.
Teal and orange, red and yellow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's hard. I'm going to go with teal first. Let's go. Oh, where did my teal cove go? That's not good. Let's do these. Okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to start with teal first. Let's start with that. Not the butterfly though. I want the flowers to be teal. So what I'm doing right now is the exact same thing I did before. However, I'm not using the die this time. If you were if you were smarter than me. Oh, no, Ken just came in here to give me a hard time. He's not making a card. He made one card in my Facebook group years ago, and I think those days are gone.
I'm the harder not to making cards.
That's for sure. So, see, I did it again. I need to hold that. What was I talking about? I don't remember. Sorry. That's what happens. So, if I would have remembered, I would have inked up the flowers on this piece and then gone to this piece and gone back and forth. It would have saved me quite a bit of time. I just didn't remember. So now I'm going and doing another piece. But this time it's not a die cut. I just wanted to show you can do either. And then I have a different technique to do with this one. All right, so that was Sea Glass. This is Blue Lagoon. I'm going to do some Blue Lagoon right at the center. Now notice there's no texture on this one because I didn't use the die. But it's going to give us a different look, and I think it'll be fun. All right, and then up here. I should put a little adhesive, tape runner on the back of these butterfly wings here that keep wanting to peel up. But all right, orange, teal, and coral and orange are complementary colors. See, Betsy's a graphic designer. She's smart like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll do coral for the other flowers. What am I doing here? Jennifer has to think. You know what? Let me do the butterflies. Did I do mine backwards? I think I did it backwards.
All right. You do have an idea right here from Sarah.
No, I didn't. What?
She says, you and Gina should do a video where your husbands do cards.
Oh, gosh. No, I don't know about that. I don't know that our husbands should be making cards. I will do coral. I'll do like more of a red coral instead of the peachy coral that I did before. I'll do my other favorite corals. So pink and red. Okay. Oh, Tony, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me get my coral brush. Yeah, I was, this is goodness gracious. Somebody is not with it today. Hold on, let's see. Let me think. I'm going to do chamomile from Altenew. This will be the orange. I'll make the butterflies orange. I'm going to make the tips of the butterfly wings lighter. I don't know why, because that sounds like a good idea. No, Tina, Ken hasn't done a voiceover. I don't think he has. He and Audrey, my second oldest, and Colin really wanted to do one together, but some people don't like when voiceovers are funny. It was Kathy Zilski's husband did one. Dan is one of my favorite people. I love Dan, and he did a great job. So it was when she reached like a certain amount of subscribers, she decided to do it. It was really funny. All right. Yeah, Tom has made things on Gina's. That's for sure. Tom's really funny. He is funny. The one that my husband did in my Facebook group was a riot. I think it was Brienne's fault. I think Brienne challenged him, if I remember correctly. But now he's at the golf course all the time. So yeah, when Dan did it was funny. Trying to decide Altenew or Gina K for floral inks. Okay, here's the thing. Inks are like shoes. We all have different preferences. You know, like some people can rock those Uggs. If you put me in Uggs, my feet feel like they're going to suffocate. So, you know, and then some people love to sport those high heels. I don't get it, but you know, everybody's different. So they're all good shoes out. There's a lot of good shoes out there. Everybody has a different preference. It's the same thing with ink. There's a lot of good options. Gina, what I'll say about Gina's inks is Gina has like a great, this is terracotta, by the way, it's gonna be pretty bold. So I'm gonna go kind of light. Gina has a classic collection of inks. I often will recommend her for a beginner, like for people who are starting to build their stash, because she has like classic reds, classic pink. You know, basically if you got all of her inks, you got all the colors you really need. Now, Altenew has a boatload of inks, like a crazy number of inks. And they do the light, medium, dark, extra dark kind of thing. So you can get 4 in the same little family or buy them separately. So there are perks. There are different things about different ones. If you like the idea of having 4 inks that go light, medium, dark, extra dark together nicely, Altenew is a great choice. But Gina's just got a great palette, and she's been coming out with more and more colors lately. You know, every once in a while she releases new ones, and I use them quite often. So there was my answer that was not helpful. It really, I think it comes down to trying a few and deciding what like works well for you, or what you like. Maybe try a few different ones, and then don't feel like you have to get one line. If you see here like you love this teal color and you love this orange color, then there's no reason why you have to stick to one line. There's just too much. I should have cleaned this off. There are too many great options out there. And then you've got Concord and Ninth and Hero Arts and Pink Fresh. There's a lot of great inks. I try to use a lot of them in my videos. This is going to come across too orange. I use a lot of different ones in my videos because I want to demonstrate that there are a lot of good options out there. I'm going to go, now I feel like this is coming off too orange, probably because I had a lot of orange ink on my brush, maybe not. I think I'm going to come in on top of it with another color because I like to overthink things. So, oh, Roberta, that's a good thing. She has the Gina K inks and then buys colors from other companies to fill in gaps she feels like that she thinks she runs upon. That's a great idea. Yes, Pink Fresh has that like light, medium, extra dark option too, the 4 colors. So, and their colors, the thing I like about Pink Fresh colors is that they are like jelly bean. They're like the happiest colors. They're like perky colors, like candy. And their inks, to me, for some reason, they feel like they pull back more, and so they smooth out more. So it's more forgiving when you ink with them and don't do a good job. I feel like theirs really lighten quite a bit and smooth out. I mean, all of them do, some more than others. Gina's has a nice blending agent in hers that helps with blending as it dries. It kind of smooths it out. Concord and Ninth has got incredible inks. Their color collection, they have the matching cardstock. That's something else to consider. For some people, you know, who maybe came from the Stampin' Up days, which Stampin' Up still does a lot of great things, but where you didn't get an ink unless you could get a cardstock to match. And Concord and Ninth offers that. Oh, I'm not done here. So that kind of thing, it depends on that too. Like what's important to you. Some people want that matchy cardstock, and I get that. And Gina has cardstocks to match her inks. Not all of them, but most. Concord and Ninth has them for all of their inks. Let's see. Altenew is starting to come out with them that match their inks, but I don't think all of them will have it, like have a match, but I could be wrong. Maybe eventually. Somebody wanted to see the different greens that Altenew just came out with. I think these are good, and it was something that I felt was kind of missing in their fresh dye collection. This is, let me get a scrap out here. I have all these circles left over. This is their newest. I don't know what the collection's called, but you have Limeade, which is the lightest. And then you have Lime, which is one up from that. Then you have Fresh Leaf. And then you have Reindeer Moss. Well, I do a live for Concord and Ninth release this month. There you go. So there's the colors. I just think they're beautiful. This time I think I'm going to do Lime and Reindeer Moss. Will I be doing a live for Concord and Ninth? Yes, on Sunday. Hold me to it. I thought it would be fun to do pre-game crafting because there are some crafters who watch football. I am not one of them. I'm a baseball fan. For me, the best part about Super Bowl is that baseball's coming soon. But I know a lot of people watch it. So I thought I'm going to go live on Saturday at either 1 or 3. I don't know yet. Yeah, I really like that these also screw on and they won't fall off. I really like that. As far as who I want to win, I have no idea. Doesn't matter. Go team. All right, I'm going to put some of this dark in here for some high contrast. That'll smooth out. See how it smoothed out on here? Sometimes if you make little noises, it works better. Okay. So I'm thinking about doing that. So yeah, but here's the thing. Some people do like to watch it. So if I go live at 1, when's the Super Bowl? I thought you said it was 6:30.
Well, that's when it starts. But...
Oh, is there pregame?
Yeah.
Which is better? Let me know in the comments and Mike will pay attention because I can't. 1 or 3? Should I go live on 1 or 3 or 2? What time on Sunday? I like Sunday crafting. It's fun for me. All right, look at that. So I did white pigment ink over the centers and it gives you a nice smooth background. It's just a different feel than this one. And you can use the same products. So I'm going to do 2 different cards with these. I'll finish this one off first, and then I'll move on to finishing this one off. Okay? All right. And if you wanted to see some of those fresh dye inks in action, I did put up a video yesterday. It's funny when you, okay, Mike, you gotta pay attention to that because I can't. It's funny because when you start doing lives, YouTube doesn't really share your regular videos as much. It's crazy. Okay, so let's turn this in. Let me show you how I turn this into a card. So I cut another of the die cuts. I do recommend doing this in heavyweight cardstock. I'm using Nina Classic Crest Solar White in 110 pound. It's a heavy cardstock. It's a cover weight. If you don't use heavyweight cardstock, I would double these layers up so that it would be a strong card base that can stand. You don't want a floppy card. So I have, mine's strong enough, I only need one die cut for this. All right, I have my scoreboard here. I'm gonna put the bottom of my die cut right into up against the edge here. And I'll score, you've probably seen me do this many times, I'm gonna score about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch from the top. This is how you'd make a shaped die cut, a shaped card. So this would be 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Eastern. No, KM, you're right. No, we do not like floppy cards. Yes, I just used Hero Arts white pigment ink for that. It's just the one I have right here. There's a lot of great white pigment inks out there. Laura Ann, I must have missed your question. I'm sorry. I'm glad Roberta answered it. I try to catch as much as I can, but I only see what I look up to. What's there when I look up. They scroll on me. Okay, so see how I created like a little hinge here. Now, above that line, let me get this. Okay, above that fold line, I'm putting some strong adhesive. I would use strong double-sided tape or strong liquid adhesive, and then lay your inked die cut on the front. And then I'm going to put a magnet on that while it dries. I work on a glass magnetic work surface, so that's really going to put a lot of pressure there and hold it there while it dries. You could also use a weight, like a paperweight. Now, where did my circles go? Hang on. My ovals. Well, Dewey. I can't find them. All right, so next I am using the Waffle Flower Dreamy frame die. I think this was from last release. This is, I think, the only thing I'm using today that's not new. I just really liked it because of the little clouds that are great for like a scene. And then there is this frame. Let me show you what it cuts. I need to cut it. I'll be using it on the next card and on this one. This is the Dreamy frame die. I'm gonna knock some of those die cuts out. So I'll just put this right on my cardstock here. Straightish. Reminder, postcard. Yep, I will do that once I wrap these two up. Nada, my goodness. Thank you. My goodness, thank you. Okay, so this gives you an oval. And it gives you this scallop frame, and then it gives you these little stars around. See how it cuts those little star holes? I haven't popped them all out yet. Do you see it? And then the frame has the little piercing detail at the edge. I'll use that on the next card. And then the oval has piercing detail around it. So what I'm gonna do is, let me get a note card here. I cut one. I'm going to use this on the inside. I also want to make a mini card that's shaped like that. So I have a folded note card here, okay? I'm going to take this so that the center opening, can you see how hangs over the folded end? See how this opening hangs over the folded edge of the note card? Remember, this is folded. So I'm doing partial die cutting kind of here. So got the oval and it's hanging over the edge. So it's not going to totally cut the two layers out. When die cutting, do you cut into the magnetic sheet or the plastic plate? Karen, with the Empress, you can do either. Currently, I am doing cutting into the magnet. If I have a die that's really tricky to cut out, I'll cut into the plate. It seems to cut a little bit more. Would it be okay to use the 130-pound cardstock by Brutus Monroe? I think you're talking about the Not Your Mama's cardstock. Absolutely.
I knew the name of that.
Yeah, that's a great cardstock. I need to cut some into panels. So now it looks like a toilet lid. There we go. So now you got this.
My card.
Oh dear. So now I've got this little mini card, and this is going to go inside of my card. All right, so now we have this connected. See, this is how our card opens, but we need a place to write a message. So what I'll do is put adhesive on the back of my toilet seat cover and get that glue. Oh, keeping it real. And glue that right to the inside. So now there is a place that opens up to write your personal message, because if I didn't do the toilet seat technique, you would see through these holes and see our personal message. So now that opens up. And if you feel this might look a little too much like a toilet seat, you could do a circle instead, or a folded square, whatever you want. But honestly, I had these left over from die cutting a bunch of these, so that's why I did it on my first card. Now the other one, just the regular oval, I'm going to glue to the back. That just sandwiches it between, and you can do your hand stamped by Jennifer here. All right? Can't take me anywhere. So there is our see-through card, and you can completely see through the front. All right, so that was that oval, and this little scallop frame, which I'm going to use on my next card, is from the Dreamy frame die. Now it's time to do the vellum on, we'll do the vellum on, both of them at the same time. No, we'll do the vellum on this one. So I'm not going to do all of these layers, but I'm going to do some of them. So this is my Simon Says Stamp vellum. It's a nice heavier weight vellum. I think it's 40 pounds, but you could use whatever. I just find that the 40-pound vellum really holds up nicely. You didn't see a potty until I said it. Well, you're welcome. The toilet seat technique. Hey, it's kind of like crafting with Gina and I, right? When Gina and I get together to craft. So sorry. Can't take me anywhere. Oh, Karen, work is no fun. All right, so now all I did was cut the little die cuts from vellum, and I also cut some bodies and antenna from gold. These die cuts and the flowers, oh, I forgot about these too, are from the Butterfly Blossom die, which coordinates with the Butterfly Blossom texture die, the bigger one. Let me get some little centers here, and I'll show you how I finished this off. All right. No smacking acetate, but potties and toilets. You know, it's bad. It's bad. I'm a little relaxed today because yesterday was so rough, and today I'm just decided to take a different approach. I haven't turned on the news. I haven't done anything. I watched a live that my friend Jessie, my coach, did earlier today. I watched a live with Greg at Concord and Ninth, and I watched Gina's live, and I decided that's more fun than news. Sorry, I dropped my die. Ooh, squatting is hard to do with the vest on. Okay, so I have some little die cuts here. Now, what I did here is, honestly, when I put this together, I felt like the yellow was a little too bright. And one of the things you can do to kind of soften something is to put vellum on top. But it also adds just a different layer of texture to it. You can see how when you die cut the vellum, you get the little cut lines. See the little cut lines? And it also kind of gives it a little bit of texture, because that's the nature of vellum. So I'm going to add those on top of these butterflies. I'm going to just do this one right now because just to save time. Here's the thing with adhesives and vellum. What I did is I put some liquid adhesive, something strong that you trust, like Gina K Connect, right at the body, and then I'll lay the vellum die cut on top. Here's the thing. There are vellum adhesives that you can't really see, but I see them all. So what I prefer to do is, when I want to adhere vellum, is to hide your adhesive. So I'm hiding it right there. I only put the adhesive right at the center. You can kind of see it going through. Then I put some adhesive on top, and then I put my little butterfly body in the center. And see how the wings kind of curl up on their own? And what you can also do when it's dry is kind of pull them up. And see how that just looks like it's fluttering? I just think that's fantastic. Yeah, you can do vellum adhesive. I think hiding your adhesive is a better option. So I use the butterflies because remember these are cut to be the same size. So I glued the other butterflies on. And that's what I got over here. And then you have the little flower centers. So let me get this out of here. Switch. Yeah, the acetate on the blue, see how it just softens it? Yes. Keep in mind, whatever color that's behind your acetate obviously is going to go light, right? It's going to get lightened by the acetate. If you want it to not cover the blue as much, you could instead do a lighter weight acetate, which is available. But just keep in mind, so I went pretty bright with the blue and the yellow, knowing that the vellum was going to be on top. All right. So then for the sentiment, I use this set, which I really like. You know me and a good sentiment set, and Waffle Flower always knocks my socks off with them. This is, I'm trying to find something I can hold it against so you can see. Hold on. Okay, so this is the Paper Hug Sentiments die set, or stamp set. Really like the sentiments in here, and then there are coordinating dies available. Paper hugs and sending hugs, I always like the hug sentiments. But Take Care, I've mentioned this in lives before, Take Care is one of my favorite sentiments, and the fact that it says Take Care Friend I think is great. So what I did to finish this off is I stamped Take Care Friend with black ink on white cardstock. And then I used the coordinating die to cut it out, and I glued it onto the front. So I'm not going to add all the vellum butterflies right now to save time. I'm just showing you the completed one. You can see how I did the vellum butterflies. You can just do 3 on there if you want to. You could leave 1 and put your sentiment here. Totally up to you. And then the little sentiment that I added there. STC Creations, you asked for a link to Jeff from Concord and Ninth. It's Greg. Did I say Jeff? It's Greg from Concord and Ninth. And the live that he did today was exclusive to a retreat that's coming up. So only if you were in the retreat could you watch that. Okay, so that is how I completed the card. So there's 2 different color palettes. I'll finish this one up. And I promise, once I get out of a pressure cooker work time, I will share completed card photos over on my blog for all these lives. Can you scroll a little bit? I saw a question. How did you do the vellum on the butterflies that are in the back? Oh, for these little butterflies right here that are kind of behind, I actually used this to cut those from vellum, and then I glued it on top. I kind of cut it out and glued it on top. But I think the best thing to do would be to just do 3. But it's totally up to you. All right, so there is the first one. Now we have this one. I'm going to do something different with that. So let me move this all out of the way, and I have to remember what I did. Okay, here we go. Got the stuff here. This is what I did with the version that I didn't use the die with, where I just used the stencils. See the background there? So earlier, I did this one and this one. I did the inking on these 2, the stenciling on these 2 at the same time. This time, I forgot to do that. So let me show you this. Oh, I forgot, this is a shaker. Okay? Let me show you how I did that. So vellum is fun for shakers. When you want like your shaker to not be too overwhelming, a little more subtle. So let me show you. Okay, so that's the one I did before. What are you looking for?
That has color, that vellum. That one.
Oh yeah, and this butterfly is vellum.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh,
Mike's so impressed. I impressed Mike. Sometimes, not always. All right, so first of all, I want to trim this down. So I actually have these sets on a magnetic strip here in my cabinet door. I don't think you can see it, but they're I have all of the waffle flower piercing layer dies. There are two sets that are A2 size, 2 sets that are A6 size, and 2 sets that are A7. So this is from one of the A2 sets. The reason why there's a layering, A2 layering A and B is because one set gives you like 1/4 inch increments between sizes, and the other set does in between. So if you really like a tight layer, you'd use both. And I have a link to those below. But I have one here, and what I like about these is it cuts a rectangle that doesn't get wonky, and it does a piercing edge. So you'll be able to see the piercing edge on here, which matches the piercing that's on the frame I'll be using. So I'm going to first do this. Yeah, I really like, oh, Dawn says she just bought these dies. They're really great. That's why when I find myself using certain dies a lot, they earn a position on the magnetic strips in my cabinet doors. And I don't know if you've been in one of my lives lately, I've said that I think I'm going to take the month of March, instead of doing as much content like this, I'm going to use that month. Oh, the thing with Nada keeps popping up pops up for you to join. East Tulip, just ignore that. It shouldn't be popping up for you to join anything. Brianne, let me know if that's something.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. I'm going to put this back before I lose it. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So we go. All right. Now, and that I can glue onto a card base. But first, let's do a butterfly next. I'm using the butterfly focal die. No, Dawn. Let me finish what I just panicked. She said no less content. No, I'm not. Okay, my craft room has kind of gotten a little in need of reorganization. I've been reorganizing my cardstock, but I haven't finished. I've been reorganizing my brushes, but I haven't finished. I've been reorganizing my inks, but I haven't finished. And I know a lot of you want to see that stuff, right? So it would really help my stress levels if I got this room like reorganized. So I thought in March, I could do the reorganizing, but then share it in lives and in videos so you can see the reorganization. So it wouldn't mean no content. It would just mean some more organization content. I think I'll still do a few videos like this, but really focus on organization. That's what I'm thinking. That's my plan, but I don't know. But I also have so much stuff that I want to use that I can see me still wanting to do a lot. Organization March, yeah. I also have another fun thing planned. I don't know when that will be. It'll be either March or April. I gotta talk to Brianne because I'll need her help for it. Yeah, I think I have a lot of organization videos, and most of the things I use the same system, but I've just changed little aspects as new things come out or as product types change. Like last time I did a stamp organization video, it was when there really weren't stencils to coordinate. There were no press plates. So now everybody wants to know how you organize all that. So I'm redoing, and I thought it'd be helpful to share too. Good. I'm glad you would find that interesting, Reba. I won't disappear for a month. I can't, because I would lose my mind. Because this is a night, believe it or not, after all those years of procrastinating on doing lives, I now like them. Who would have thought, right? Mike tried to get me to do this for years. Okay, so I have a vellum butterfly created with the butterfly focal die. And this is just plain vellum, and I could put it on there, but I don't feel like it stands out enough. So I am going to color it. And let's see, I think I will do blue so it stands out. I'm going to do blue. Now when I color my vellum, I usually will do the inking on the back of the vellum, just so that I don't have to worry about it drying as much, but it really doesn't matter. It just softens it a bit. But you could ink the front. If you really want like a bold color to your vellum, ink both sides. I'm gonna start with I'm gonna just do the back. And you'll see it kind of show through. I'll show you the back first. Now, vellum doesn't really allow the ink to absorb easily, right? Because it's not like porous. So like if I touch this, there'll be a fingerprint. So we're gonna have to heat set this bad boy. So there I put ink on the back, and when you flip it over, look at that nice soft color you get. Whatever color you want on your butterfly, you gotta put like 2 steps up darker that color because it's gonna show up lighter on here. So I did vellum on one side. Let me heat set that. I saw somebody ask why I'm wearing a vest. It's my weighted vest. And I had it on, so I thought I'd keep it on. Just ignore me, I'm weird. Trying to make my bones stronger. Somebody was asking. Oh, yeah, I was saying how you were trying to get me to do these lives forever. And so this time I'm putting the Blue Lagoon on the front. Now there are other ways you can color vellum. You can do alcohol ink. I just normally use a dye ink like this. So let me dry this side too. Liz asked how long those lives would be on organization. She's hoping that they'd be long. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I would approach it. Maybe I get a kind of figure it out and then show you me doing some of it, and then later show you it complete, because it's got to get completed. That's my guess. All right, now there is a layering stencil for the focal point, the butterfly focal die. Let me see, what did I call those, Mike? Mike, can you pull up, I've got 2 images from the Waffle Flower website that other artists did. And Nina said I could share these. The ones that say single butterfly. There's 2 of them. Okay, so there's one. This one is by Galina. I think that's her name. She does a lot of the design work. I think that's how you say it. A lot of the design work, like the designing of these stamps for Waffle Flower, she's so good. And you can see how you can use the layering stencils to color the single butterfly. Now there's one more. And here shows you can use bright colors. So there are layering stencils that will color this butterfly. I'm not doing that today. I just made my butterfly solid vellum, blue vellum. You can come back here. So here's solid blue vellum. And I'm not going to use all of the stencils to color it. I'm just going to use this one with the details here. And I'm going to line it up with the etching that the die created. And I'll put a little bit of white pigment ink over this. You could come in with a darker color instead, but I'm thinking just pouncing a little white pigment ink. When I use white pigment ink, I do like to use the Tim Holtz foam tools, the mini or the tiny, either one. And see how that just gives a little detail to it. Okay? Did I get, yeah. But remember, pigment ink doesn't like to dry on its own, especially on vellum, so I have to heat set that. If I wanted that white to be more intense, I could do that pigment ink on both sides. So if you want your vellum to be more intense with color that you add, you'd want to ink up both sides. All right, so now let me put this on here while it dries. Isn't that pretty? So you can color a big piece of vellum with a blending tool and ink. It actually is very easy to blend because the ink doesn't absorb right away, right? So it's really easy to blend. I actually will do that later. We'll do blending if I don't run out of time. Blending on acetate. I kind of curled my wing up by accident, but there we go. You can also, if you want to do, like, make a big piece of vellum blue, you can just go direct to paper with an ink pad and then use a dry cloth to get off the excess. You can use alcohol ink on vellum. You by all means can. I just didn't want to get alcohol ink. I feel like alcohol ink's a whole process. You know, that just takes time. All right. I need another piece of vellum. Let's see, is that one big enough? Perfect. So I have here, this is from the same Dreamy frame that I made my toilet out of earlier. And this time I'm using the frames. I thought these frames were so cute, just kind of playful, and has that piercing detail. And I'm putting vellum on the back side of one of them. I just use tape runner. You could use liquid adhesive. I just don't want to take the time for it to dry. Now I'm kind of tucking my scissors underneath to trim off everything that's hanging out the edge there. So let me cut that all off. So you can see, hold on. See how nobody cares what that looks like. It doesn't matter, right? Now, this time I'll use some liquid adhesive because I have time for it to dry. Put some adhesive around there. There's still that other exposed adhesive, and I'll put another frame there. Whoop. So basically, I'm all thumbs. Basically, there's vellum sandwiched between the two. So I'll put a paperweight on that. I'm a mess, just in case you didn't know. I'm standing on a live broadcast with a vest on and pajama pants, talking about toilets. Okay, I did have one more. Oh, it's touching the baby wipe. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna put one more on here because there was a little booger on this die cut and we wanna cover that up. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just have this little frame with vellum in the middle. Now, the reason I did that is I wanted to use this frame and I wanted to use this butterfly, but when I just used, let me take that apart so you can see. When I had just the frame and this butterfly, I felt like the butterfly got lost. This is a trick that I use a lot when I have like maybe a pattern paper that is, oh no, it's good. A pattern paper that is really bold, but I want to use it. And you kind of want to just tone it down in the focal point area so you can see the sentiment better. Vellum is your friend for that. Because now, look I can put that and it softens that center area. And when I put my butterfly on it, you can see it better. All right. So a lot of times if you have like a bold background and you just want to soften it, you could even just put this and put your sentiment right there, and it keeps your focal point from getting lost in the background. So that's one of the nice things about vellum. Now, you could just stick it on there, but I like to complicate things. So I have some foam tape here. When you need really narrow, most of our messes when creating, hey, everybody's a mess. Even those people on social media who make it look like they're not, they are. So I want to turn this into a shaker, because why not? And vellum is fun for a shaker because you can have all the movement on the inside without the distracting. You know, how do I say it? It kind of softens the shaker. So you can see the movement a bit. You can hear the movement, but it doesn't like override what's on the front. So you can use vellum for shaker windows. And I know I've done videos where I've used vellum for shakers. I've done full card front vellum shaker cards. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It almost made it around. Let me get a little piece here. This is waffle flower foam strips. So if I've used a lot of them. There are foam strips that are already pre-cut to the lengths we want for a card, 5.5, 4 1/4, and then whatever this long one is. And some of them are wider and some of them are narrow. And this is available in 2 thicknesses, 1/8 of an inch and 1/16 of an inch. I'm using 1/8 of an inch right now so that there's more shaker movement, but I will use the other later on. So I did a seal of that so it has the walls of our shaker. Now I'm going to use clear thingies in here. These are tiny diamonds from Honeybee. I always like these. If you want more movement, you know what, in fact, I'll put some in there. Hold on. Just a second, I'm coming back. Find some little guy. I gotta find the right color. Oh, please. Maybe this, I wonder if these would work. So you could do darker color. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so these are from Lucy's, oh, I'm making a mess. Lucy's cards, I think she closed, but they're just blue sequins, like a darker blue sequin, right? Put these back. Those you'll be able to see through the vellum a bit more. So now I've got the adhesive around it, so I'm pushing all that kind of to the center, and then I'll lay this right on top. And then you got a shaker. And in this one, I just did the diamonds, so you don't really see them, you just hear them. But here I did the darker blue too, so you can see them a bit more, and you can hear them. Then, we have our butterfly to add in the center. Again, I'm hiding my adhesive by putting it behind the antenna, and I'll put that right on top. Now that's going to take a little bit longer to dry than it would on paper because vellum's not porous, but it will dry nicely. Then for a sentiment, I used the Overlapping Hugs Editions stamps. So these stamp real thin sentiments, and then there's coordinating dies. This is meant to go with the hugs overlapping that I showed you earlier that's bigger, but I use it on my own. I mean, all of these you can use on your own. So sending, you could put birthday wishes under it, and I like that they're kind of stretched out in script. So on mine, I did the friend with black ink, and I die cut it and added it right across. So that's all I have left to do on there. So there you can see colored vellum. You could, if you want white details to be kind of more intense on the vellum, you could use a white gel pen. You could do that too. And I just need to glue this to a base. And that's it for that one. All right. So 2 different looks with the same stencils. I used the stencils here with the die cut and here without the die cut. There we go. Okay. And then I can just add it to a note card. I might change this and put it onto a gold note card base. All right, so this needs that sentiment right across the top. And I might go back with a darker blue. So my vellum is a little darker blue. You could blend, you could do whatever you want. I'm gonna show you more of coloring vellum in a moment. All right, so there's the first ones, and that was the Overlapping Hugs Edition stamp set. All right, yeah, and the shaker's just fun. If you wanted them to be seen, use acetate or use darker color gems only in there. But I think it's almost just fun that you can hear it. All right, so those are the first ones. Now, postage, I remembered. I have done so many videos on using postage, on the waffle flower postage die stuff. I mean, I've used quite a few. Let me see if I can find them here. You know that I am a big fan of it because Waffle Flower has the postage dies, like this one right here, available in A2, A7, A6. But the A2 die also has lots of stencils that coordinate with it to do different themes. Have you seen, let me know if you've seen any of my videos with, yeah, I've got a lot in here. This is all my Waffle Flower postage stuff. I even have my A6 die cut and ready to go. And I have some cards I've done in the past. But they have a bunch of layering stencils that color this in to make it look like postage, right? Many. And I've used them so many times in lives. So many times. All of these I think were from previous lives. Some I've mailed out. There is a new postage stencil set in this release. I'm not going to use it today because I've done so many videos using them and it's very straightforward the same way. But I wanted to mention it because I know a lot of you have invested in this die and it's nice to have more options with it. By the way, there's also the block die that you can get to turn it into like little windows. So I've done many videos on that. Well, now they have the Postage Collage butterfly stencil. Mike, can you pull up the postage example? I might have 2.
Oh,
I did send them. I think I sent them at the end.
you sent them late.
I sent them late.
So
He's going to pull them up. But I'm going to show you what this looks like. I decided not to use it today because I wanted to show you new things, like new techniques. And I've done so many, okay? So he's gonna pull them up here in a moment. But this is the Postage Collage Butterfly Stencil. And it coordinates with their A2 postage die. While he pulls that up, I'm gonna get my next card ready. This is my favorite one. Favorite to make. Favorite to make. Do you see it? Do you see it? No, okay. What storage sleeve do I have my postage cards in? This is from Altenew, our friends at Altenew. This is Zippin' pouch, zip something pouch. And they're white on the back, clear on the front. They're great. I use them for a lot of different things. Okay, Mike has it ready. Okay, so here's one example. This one's got to be by Jill. Yes, Jill Hawkins. I'm telling you, I might have to take the position of president of her fan club too. Look at how beautiful that is. So those were done with the postage stencils and die, and she just cut each of the postage apart so she could create that little collage. But you can see how the butterflies are done there. And then the next one, this is it connected. Now there are some butterfly die cuts on there, the same dies that I used earlier, but you can see in the background are the postage stencils on the postage die cut. And then you just add little postage styled stamps on top. Okay, so one of the things that I've really liked about Waffle Flower, and the reason I use their supplies a lot, is because they come out with new things that go with your old so that you can use your older products more. Those zip pouches are from Altenew. Mike, can you see if you can find it?
What?
The
the ad?
yeah, the zip pouches. No, the zip pouches. The link for it at Altenew. I think it's like zipper. I think if you search on zip, it'll probably come up. Okay, the next card, we're gonna color some vellum.
Zip and keep?
Zip and keep, is that it?
Or the zip and stash. The new ones with the
Zip.
the plastic zipper.
The plastic, it is the zip and keep. It looks like they're out of stock.
Yes.
In one of my previous lives, they had done a, thanks Jesse. In one of my previous lives, they did like you got them free for an order. Maybe I'll get them to do that again. Sheila, I have some of Catherine Pooler, but not all. She has so many colors. I know a lot of people love her inks. They're a foam ink pad and really vibrant colors. But I don't have all them. There are a few ink lines I don't have because I just don't have the room. Yes, the butterfly one is new. It's linked in the description below. Okay, next up, I am making this. It's a very soft vellum. That's vellum there. And it looks like that vellum's kind of floating. And this one, believe it or not, is not hard to use or hard to do. Okay, so for this, I'm using the Mod Blossom Die and the Mod Blossom Stencils. Remember, one of the things I like about Waffle Flower and a lot of our favorite companies are when there's things that you can use together or separately in different ways. So we're gonna color this vellum. I'm looking for some vellum. Hang on. Now you could color your vellum before or after die cutting. I mean, you could blend vellum on its own. You know, you don't have to use it on a die cut like I am today. So say you want to have a blended vellum background. I've even done videos where I make my note card base out of vellum. And in that case, you could color the background, do blending. I know I've done that in a video in the past. Sherry asked, with Waffle Flower, I'll just explain it and it will answer the question. With Waffle Flower, all of their like themed stencils, like the butterfly stencils and all that, those all go with the A2 postage die. Okay, they don't have those themed ones that go with the other ones because mostly people like the A2 size. All right, so I got vellum here. That's how I knock the little doodads out of my die, is I hit it against my desk. So I'm gonna cut this from vellum. Yeah, vellum, there's a lot you can do with it. Vellum's sometimes fun in embossing folders. It's gotta be the right folder, you gotta test it out. You can do alcohol inks on vellum. Brianne just put a link here in the chat to a vellum technique video. And I'm sure I did a lot of things in there too. I tend to do a lot with vellum because it's just so, so many things and inexpensive, and a lot of us have it. So there we go. I gotta pop some of these. I kind of tore the edge there, but that's okay. I wasn't very careful. I'm gonna cover it up anyways. Just brushing that on the floor. So this is the Mod Blossom die. Next, remember how I talked about those piercing dies, piercing rectangle dies? I'm taking 2 of them and I'm gonna hold them together and cut from white cardstock to create frames. And I'll do 2 of those. I didn't cut these ahead of time because I wanted you to be able to see. I'm running out of room here. So I like to take the big one, put that down, and then the smaller one, kind of center it up from, I can see through it to, you know, see that it's even, and I put tape on it. I probably should do more tape so it stays put, but whatever. So I'm making a frame with those rectangle dies. Let me move some of this stuff. It's a mess. All right. Now remember, if you happen to be, now this, wait, hold on, this with the faux piercing edge, I'm gonna save that for later. I'm not using that right now. I'm using the frame. Look at, it's a frame, wait, hold on. A frame with faux piercing right in the center. Isn't that cool? Love it. So much more fun than just cutting cardstock, but you could use 2 regular rectangle dies to create a frame, but this is more fun. Save that. All right, so I'm creating 2 that way. Good enough-ish. There we go. Gotta save this end, hang on. Yes, Brienne is a godsend. And I tell her it all the time. I appreciate her so much. All right, so this is gonna go around here. So the fact that it tore over there, I don't care, because that's gonna go over it. But let's go ahead and get inky. So I have my Vellum Mod Blossom die cut. I am again going to ink the back side so it's a softer look. You could still get a soft look from the front, but I don't know why. I think I always like to ink the back side because if maybe it's not completely dry when I put it together, it's not gonna smear because it's on the back side. I don't know. That's just my thought process, which doesn't always make sense. So since this is upside down, I need to use my stencils upside down, okay? So let's lay this down here. You can see this will allow you to color your die cut. By the way, this is what the die cut looks from white cardstock. So you can see the detail. This on white alone would be tone on a background. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I think that'd be gorgeous. What was I doing? Oh, I'm gonna do a rainbow. I'm gonna do rainbow again because it was a really fast way to do this, and I have so many inks laying out that I can just reach and grab one, but I don't have yellow. So I'll start with yellow. Here's a little secret. I don't think I've ever said this in videos, and it is not earth-shattering, but you know how when you do rainbow of flowers, inner rainbow is green, and I don't like having green flowers with green leaves because I feel they get lost. So instead of starting my rainbow at pink and going to blue, I started at yellow, or pink and going to purple or whatever. I start at yellow and go to blue so I can skip green. Does that make sense? So I don't have green flowers. Now I know green flowers exist, but I feel like they get lost in the green leaves on my card. So if I start with yellow and then go through backwards to the rainbow, I can end with blue. I'm hoping that makes sense. And that way I don't have to include green, and I still have it all connected. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is Gina K Wild Dandelion. It's a bright yellow. And I'll start down here. Blending on vellum is one of the easiest things to do because it doesn't absorb right away, so you can move it. Move the ink more, okay? So I'm starting with yellow and just throw it out of the way. We go to Snapdragon, which is a great true orange from Altenew. Can you scroll it? Hi, Susan. Good to see you, friend. And this will blend very easily. But if I went and I touched this, it would, I go purples first, you'll see. If I touch this right now, I would lift some of the color. So I'm trying not to touch the vellum part. I'm gonna heat set it in a moment. Okay, so that was the orange. Let's do magenta for the pink. And every time I'm going back and putting my brushes in here, these are the brushes that are 40% off with my exclusive code below. And by the way, if you're shopping, they have a free gift with $50 purchase from this new release, and that information is in the description below. Don't forget to add that to your cart and use the codes. You can use the 2 codes at once. So there we did magenta. I might go darker on that orange. See, I overthink things. Yeah, you need to put the description below tells how to get the free gift. You put it in your cart and you use the code. And it's on $50 or more. You get a free gift on $50 or more of this release. Then there is a different code you can use to get 40% off the brushes. So lots of great ways to save right now. Let's do medium lilac. So after pink, I'm going back to the end of the rainbow because I'm skipping green. So I start in the middle of the rainbow, go to the end, and then I go back to the beginning. So actually I started at yellow, I kind of went backwards. Yellow, orange, instead of red I did pink. And now I'll go to the end of the rainbow, which is purple, because purple and pink blend together well. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
I hope. All right, so this is medium lilac. This is like a purpley, bluish purple, really gorgeous. And there's like a light and a dark too. I use those a lot in my videos. Those and the orchids. And then finally, the blue I'll end with, let's do blue raspberry. All right. Yeah, thank you to Waffle Flower. I told her I had to use these butterflies and she said, how about, the free gift is like on her website, but the brush offer is exclusive to my friends. Nina's a kind heart. There are some challenges going on in our industry right now, even bigger than last time I was here talking. It's awful, all the things that are happening right now. And Nina, bless her heart, she texts me and she says, if you know any companies who could use help, like information from me, tell them to reach out. Here's my number, my email. And I just think that class act. Class act. Okay, so now green. I'm gonna do fresh leaf. Now I could do some blending here, but I'm just gonna save some time and just do it all the same. So you could go do like darker centers on these, make the petals like light and dark green. I'm not. And you can see I'm doing this ink pretty fast, and I would do it faster if I wasn't talking to. Yeah, Nina's a great egg. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the word's gotten around. Really the only US manufacturer of cutting dies closed. And that just makes things harder. Okay, so there we go. I have the color on the back. I'm gonna heat set that. Heidi, great question. I love it. I love it. How can we support the industry? Of course, buying things is always going to be the most helpful. However, yes, Nina at Waffle Flower is the one who's helping people. However, we know not everybody can. We all know this, right? There are many ways that you can help the industry without spending money. So I'll share some of those, but hold on. See how I have I need white behind it. Ugh. Hold on, just a second. Let me get a piece of cardstock. Okay, so see that color? Now I colored the back, and just look how soft that is. Isn't that pretty? Now you could put it down flat, but you lose the softness. So I want mine to kind of float above the background a bit. So let's do some detail to this though. I'm gonna use one of my favorites. This is like the piercing background die. It is old. It's really old. Oh, and I'm gonna run this through. So it's just pierced dots. You can see some stamp on there, that's okay. Okay, so ways you can support the industry without spending money. Number one, do not buy knockoffs. When you buy knockoffs, it is directly hurting the people who design these products. Because what happens is, for example, waffle flour. Nina pays artists, like true artists, like illustrators and artists to design the products. And then when a company comes and knocks that off, it takes like you could see the stamp on here. Dang it. Let me clean this. When you buy knockoffs, it's taking the value away because Nina's the one paying those designers. And the knockoff people are just taking them and they're making them of terrible quality. So the number one thing you can do, I know you want to save money. I get it. But it's like I've learned with felt. Felt can be kind of expensive. And I've learned if you buy the cheap felt, it's not going to work as well. It's the same thing with dyes. So I've learned I just need to invest. So number one thing you can do is not buy knockoffs, not to like share knockoffs. That's the number one thing. Then next thing you can do is share. Share when a company is going live. Share when a company has an event. That didn't cut all the way through. So real quick, when your magnetic mat for the Empress starts to get this worn, it's good to shim underneath there or it won't cut all the way through. So that was my sign that I need to start using the shim and it'll lengthen the life of that plate. So knockoffs is the first one. The other one is sharing. If you see Waffle Flower put on their Instagram a cute card, because remember, Waffle Flower pays artists on their design team. I'm not on design teams, but she pays her design team artists to make cards. So when they put those on their Instagram, that costs them. So if you can share that content, it makes it more valuable to them. So share. Also, when you share, there's the piercing. I just like the detail in that. Isn't that fun? Just better than a plain background. That's the piercing background plate. When you share anybody's social media, like when you're on Instagram and you click the share and it puts it in your stories, or you can share it to a friend, that is the best way to help somebody's account get seen by more eyes. Because the more Instagram sees people sharing something, the more Instagram will suggest them to new people. Okay, so sharing their content is huge. That's one of the other big things that you can do. And you may see, like, say this live, and you may think this is a great deal. You might not be able to shop right now. That's fine. Let your other crafty friends know. Waffle Flower has this great free gift right now. Did you see this release? That kind of stuff. Sharing is very important. So basically, I glued one of my frames on one side of the vellum, and I'll do the other on the other side. I'm going to put it this way, so I'll put this on the top. I normally would use liquid adhesive here, but again, I don't want to take the time. No, I don't sew with this one unless you used a really thin needle and like 1 ply of thread. But if you like stitching on cards, Waffle Flower, actually I think they have a website called Stitchable Cards with lots of options and patterns and stuff. So you could stitch that, but I don't think it would be the best. She's got other background dies that are great for creating paper with little holes. Waffle Flower, there you go. Another thing is liking. I know that it doesn't seem like much, but like when you're watching a video, like a Waffle Flower video, when you give it a thumbs up, that tells YouTube this is worth watching, and it gets them to share it with others. And our industry needs some new people in it, right? Also leaving comments on videos. That's a big thing. Karine, if the free code is not working, you got to make sure you spent $50 on the new stuff, and then you have to add it to your cart and use the code. You have to add it to your cart. That information is below. All right, let's see here. So those are some things. Why did the American die company close? I'm sure I don't know the reasons. I have no idea. I have no idea. But I will say the reason there aren't many die manufacturers in the US, well now there's none, is because it is a nasty manufacturing process. I think it uses acid and stuff. And there's just not the capability or manpower for that. I don't know. I don't know all of it, but you know, there's just a lot to all of it. It's just, the point of me telling you that is it's just another blow to the industry, and so any way we can support is good. So thumbs up, liking, sharing. Make a card for a company. You can make a card and send it to them. Like Nina. If Nina got a card, even if you don't have Waffle Flower products, if you send her a card with Altenew products, she'd still love it. It doesn't have to be, you know, just her products. She'd still love it. I used the Hugs for Today and Love for Always. I thought that was sweet. I die cut 4 from white cardstock and I put it on right against the background because that'll kind of give this a little stage to help in the center. Somebody said that they thought that maybe the US closed because of foreign competitors. They were swamped. They were swamped. So it wasn't that. I don't know what it was. Waffle Flowers pays artists each time they post. Waffle Flower will pay like the artist who designed the products. Yes, I'm not doing this right. And the design team members. Does that make sense? It's like their version of marketing. You know, there's no billboards, right? So it's a way to market and also inspire. There's just a lot to it. There's a lot to it. So just when you see a company doing something like making a decision about where they get their products made or whatever, just know there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. Somebody said it just flew by, sorry, that you mixing products, they're afraid to share cards with mixing products. They still love it. They love it. There's a lot to it. Yeah, that's not the reason either. It's not about OSHA. There's a lot to it. And here's the thing. My only point in all this is that it's been a week for them. So if you could send them a card, do it. Any other companies, make them a card. Send them a nice email. There you go. Maria said, I made my first card and hand delivered it to Aaron at Hero Arts, and she loved his expression. It's just you got to think, they got into this because they enjoy this stuff. So to get a card, that just tickled them pink. The other thing that you can do is a tag. Janet said, tag manufacturers. So if you share a card on Instagram using Waffle Flower, tag them on it so they can see it. That also does a lot for their spirit. You know what I mean? Like to see their products be used. Yeah, that's going to make them happy. Steel is not cheap. Yeah, steel is not cheap. All right, so I put foam tape. This is the 1/8 inch foam tape that I used before for shaker. And I put it around the outside edge of our frame. That's glued right there. I'm going to put this right into the corner here to line it up. Press it down. There we have our little, now see how it's kind of floating? I love that. Yes, Hero Arts is having their last blowout sale in Richmond coming up soon. All right. Put this on here. Now this one is going to go on top. So remember we have the stacked die cuts under here. Libby, do you have any other suggestions on what folks can do to help companies? Libby works for Pink and Maine. So maybe she has some ideas. Really, but encouragement. Just give encouragement. I had some hairs, so I'm shaving them off. Encouragement is huge. Yeah, I don't like seeing companies close either. So there we go. We got it floating. Now, I did finish this off. I felt like since it was so soft, I wanted a little sparkle on it. So, I need a tray. No, these aren't them. Where are they? I used Trinity Stamps Moonstone Rhinestones. These are really neat. They're white backed, and then it's like that moonstone sparkle that picks up whatever colors around it. And I glued these at, I need to put a weight on here. I need a weight. Actually, I'll just do a magnet. Doop. I want that to stay connected. And I'll just glue some of these at the centers of the flowers. I just thought that kind of made it stand out more. You can see on my final card here. Just a little sparkle sometimes is all you need. Let's see, I want that size. So I added that to the center of each flower. So this is what it looked like in the end. Now on this one I used a different background die under there. I don't know if you can see the white cardstock in the background. I used this older sweet plaid texture on the background of this one. On this one I did the piercing dots. Can you see the piercing dots? I don't know if you can see them. There you can see them, which match the piercing on the outside edge. And then this I just need to glue to a card base. So here I did more ink. I think I inked both sides of the vellum on this one, the front and the back. Here I just did the back, so it's very soft. But it's nice, I'm gonna put that back on there. It's nice to be able to control how much color. Does that make sense? Hoping this makes sense. But as far as how to help these companies, number one is the knockoff thing. Number two is just support them. With your energy and your happiness, keep crafting. Don't worry about it. This industry will take care of each other. If you keep creating, that gives them the energy to keep going. Yeah, the moonstone is like magic because it picks up the colors around it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that piercing die is a good addition. That's a much older die, and I've used it many times in videos. All right, so, ooh, good timing. Let me just show you one other thing I started, but I didn't have time to finish. Man, isn't that colored vellum and how it floats because of the tape, the foam tape on the back?
That's cool.
Mike says it's cool. He's the only one I can hear, so when he says something, he usually likes the interactive cards. Here is another one, kind of like the butterfly one from before, the shaped one I did. This is the Crocus Flutter Die. And it does, Waffle Flower has a lot of these, like style. It's basically, it cuts partially. See how the wings cut, but not the center, so you can kind of pop up the edges. And then there are stencils to color them. So I started to color with the stencils, but I just ran out of time. Mike, I think I have some crocus examples that Nina said I could share. There's one, look at that. So you use the die and then the stencils to color it, and I just think that's beautiful. And that card is by Jill again. That's Jill. Was there another one?
Just one crocus.
Oh, okay, okay. So that was the crocus. I wish I had gotten a chance to use that. What else did I have for you to share? I think that was it.
One's called yellow.
Oh, yeah, do this. This is pretty. He's got to know. And this, look at that. So that is the same background that I just showed you, the crocus. And Galina, I got to find out how to pronounce her name. She's so talented. She did the colored butterfly, that focal butterfly at the center. And then you can see she used some vellum. Look at, she used vellum there as the mat for that white oval. Do you see that little bit of vellum? And it adds a softness to it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to, yeah. Just know that these companies are doing everything they can. So use their products, use any products, just share, create, have fun. That's what got them started, was that joy of creating and the kindness and sharing cards. And that's what they want you to keep doing. And that keeps everybody motivated. So just focus on making, on creating. That's sharing. Oh, and Libby had a good tip. Get your kids and grandkids making this stuff. We need to, we need future generations to get into this hobby too. Terry, I'm a sucker for butterflies too. I am too. Heidi, yes. Yeah. The way affiliate links work is if you just click one of my links, anything you get would be in that order. But please just shop and do your thing. Don't worry about it. Somebody said, this is silly. Mike, can you scroll a little bit? It said, this may be silly. I saw it, but hold on. We're looking for the question. Oh, it sounds silly, but how do you tag a company? There are a few different ways to do it on Instagram, but if you are following a company like Waffle Flower on Instagram, if you are like in the little caption underneath, if you do an @Waffle Flower, it should pop up and that will let them know. There's a way to tag it in the pictures too, but that's a little more complicated. Do you have advice for small, just scroll, it's a longer comment. Advice for, there we go, for small creators, as they often end up having to go to companies for paid work that might sell knockoffs, but they don't necessarily know that the company has a knockoff. Okay, Loopy Lou, good question. Basically the question is, how do you know if a product is a knockoff? The tried and true way to know, I can't find my glue bottle. The tried and true way to know is if the price is too good to be true, it's probably a knockoff. Now Waffle Flower, like they'll have a clearance sale, right? Where they sell a background die for like $5, but that wasn't the original price, right? They were the creator of that product. And so sometimes they do clearance. And those are the things I try to share with you, because that's a way to save. But if a company has these really low prices and you recognize those images from another company, it's a knockoff. If you ever have questions, like if you see something and you're curious, you could ask any content creator like myself or Kathy, and we usually can tell. We usually can tell. I'm not going to say the name of the site that is the worst for knockoffs, because I don't think it's worth saying. But if it looks too good to be true, it likely is. Now, if it's like Waffle Flower or Spellbinders or somebody like that you see us use a lot, like YouTubers use a lot, and it's on sale on their website, that's different. That's their real product. They're just having a deal. That's where you can try to save the money. Like, for example, Christmas. A lot of companies are selling all their Christmas stuff, their holiday stuff. You could get those now and save them for next year, and that's a way to save. So they're just little things that you could do, and that's why in these lives I try to either use something that's on sale, or if a company has a special offer or something like that, I try to share those because it's a way to help. I saw somebody ask about Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. I love them. What?
No, I deleted it.
Oh, did you? I love Simon Says Stamp inks. I've used them many times. In fact, on Black Friday, I did a lot with those inks on my Black Friday crazy day. But I've used them in videos before. Usually Simon, for some reason, Simon Says Stamp, when I use their products, it's a regular video because they have bigger releases, and I feel like I can share more examples in a regular video than I can in a live. I did do 2 videos using Simon Says Stamp saturated inks not too long ago, not live videos, but regular, so you could see there. To get a free gift and to save on those blending brushes, it's all in the YouTube description below, right at the top. Okay, Robyn wants to know about the double-ended blending brushes. Those should be right at the top.
Are those the number?
Yeah,
ones?
it says, it's like the 3rd thing on my list. It's the 3rd thumbnail. It says Waffle Flower Shader Brush 1 double-ended brushes. Those are great. Can you use the new Lisa Horton metallic inks on vellum? You can. It's going to take some time to dry. And it may not completely dry on its own. You could heat set it, give it some time to dry, and spray it with a fixative, and that might help. Or you can put the metallic on the other side, but then you hide some of the shine. But you definitely could try. Another thing that you can do is color your vellum, and then if you want shimmer, like spray it with like a glitter spray. All right, can you go back to the regular comments, Mike? We have giveaways.
Yes.
How do you find my regular videos? Just go to Jennifer McGuire Inc. YouTube channel, and there'll be a tab for live and a tab for video. You would just click video to see those. All right, I have 2 giveaways, so I'll give you a couple minutes. Anybody who's left a comment in the chat already will be eligible. So you're eligible to win this if you have left a comment in the chat. Let me show you these. The 2 giveaways I have, one is a pack of the blending brushes. Nina sent me these, so I thought I would share them. And then, so one winner will get those. The other winner will get what the free gift is right now. I got 2 of them by accident, so I'm gonna give one to somebody. Okay, so this is where you get the, no, this is different. This is not the giveaway. This is like the giveaway. This one says paper hugs. So you've got the stencils that do the overlapping letters, and then the die to cut those out. Okay, so this is overlapping paper hugs and blending brushes. So it's 2 giveaways, so you can leave a comment. Bonnie, I'm sorry you missed most of the live. It was long. Go figure. And I was a little goofy, but you can go back and watch it anytime. Can you scroll down a bit, Mike? He's picking winners, so it takes a moment. Just seeing if I can find anything here. Yeah, thank you for being here. Yeah, all of the information is in the YouTube description below, but if you want to see the thumbnail pictures, you want to click that link at the top of my YouTube description that has the word live in it. And thank you to Nina for, Nina sent me these products. She said I got some butterflies coming, so she sent them to me, and yeah, so good. So good. Yeah, Tracy, really, I shared some specific tips about helping the industry, but really the best thing you can do is just keep creating and sharing, bringing in new addicts. That's what we need. Yeah, Wilma said Waffle Flower has the best shipping and customer service. They really do. Nina's got a great team. Okay, so the winner of the blending brushes,
Robyn Wilson, and that's Robyn with a Y.
Robyn Wilson with a Y. Robyn Wilson, you win these. Go to my website and email me your address so I can send them to you along with the card. And by the way, these are the ones that are 40% off right now with my exclusive code below. Then the winner of the overlapping paper hugs Die-n-stencil is?
Dawn Manners.
Dawn Manners. Dawn, go to my website and give me your address. I will send this along with a handmade card. And Mike usually puts some other stuff in there.
Yep.
Mike puts them together because he can add stuff to it. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. Well, I think that's it for today. I got my 2 hours in with my vest. We're gonna go get sushi. It's sushi time. All right. Everything's in the description if you have any questions. I will be going live. What did people say, 1 or 3?
1.
1. I'm gonna try to go live on Sunday at 1. I'm thinking 1, could possibly be 3, but I'm thinking 1. I'll add a live soon, so I just gotta check with the family. If you're having troubles with any of the codes, make sure you read in the description because you have to add something to your cart and use a code. It's in the description. If you have trouble, you can email Waffle Flower. They've got great customer service. All right, thank you all for being here. I'm off to get sushi. I hope you have a great weekend. It's almost weekend, and I will see you on Sunday. Yes, 1 p.m. Eastern. Yep. See you later.